The View's Joy Behar said the dumbest thing she's ever said on air, which is saying a lot because this is somebody who says dumb things on air literally every time she's on air. This one takes the cake because it's so blatantly false that it didn't take long for somebody to find the receipts. That somebody was, I believe, Colin Rugg over at Trending Politics News. I think usually he'll attribute a video if somebody else had made it. So the fact that he doesn't give attribution, I think that maybe he put this one together. Who knows? The View's Joy Behar tries slamming Trump, says she has never in her lifetime remembered a sitting president trash the president who served before him. Now that is, easily, demonstrably incorrect. Literally every president, at least in my lifetime, has trashed the president before him. They always do. It's really a question of how long they do it. In other words, yeah, I remember Barack Obama was blaming George W. Bush for his policies by Obama's 7th year in office. I remember that vividly because it's like, are you sure? Really? You're still going to be blaming the economic woes the American people are experiencing on things that George W. Bush did 8 years ago? Yeah. So it does happen. It happens every time. And here, let's just go ahead and play the video itself.
You chose not to go through the proper protocol.
Yeah, right.
And everybody could have seen this.
Yeah.
This is not the App Store kind of stuff you want to be using.
They also have a tendency to blame the Biden administration.
Yeah.
It's like, move on. That ship has sailed. I never remember in my lifetime a sitting president trashing a previous president.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays. You know, I was in that World War I cemetery in France. And the one that one of our colleagues, the former president, didn't want to go and be up there. When the president was asked what he thought had happened, Donald Trump said, and I quote, "There are very fine people on both sides. My God." That's what he said. It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We got to lock him up. That Trump, when in Europe, would not go to the grave sites in France. The brave service members who gave their lives to this country. He called them suckers and losers. Who in the hell does he think he is? Who does he think he is? And the then president was asked, what do you think? He said, they're very fine people on both sides. Not fine people on both sides. No excuse, zero. I know Americans want a president, not a dictator. No self-respecting American president would ever be Putin's puppy like this guy is. That's what he is. Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is just supporters. But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
I've never heard that before. Never heard, Ronald Reagan didn't do it. They're St. Ronald.
But it's the common enemy. It's what drives their base together is the other.
Yeah.
So they do that to create.
Yeah. And I got to say, stop treating your base like their dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop.
They know better.
We'll be right back.
Sure.
I know a lot of people really hate The View. I don't. I appreciate that The View exists because it does serve, in my humble opinion, 2 very important purposes. Number one, it highlights the elitist aspect of the radical leftist agenda. This is where you get to hear people who have no idea, who really have not suffered, at least recently. Maybe they did earlier in their lives, but they're not suffering through the ills, the challenges that have been thrust upon the American people. And to hear people like Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg lambasting President Trump or embracing Kamala Harris or defending Adam Schiff or any of those things, it is funny because people are starting to wake up to it. They really are. This is one of the reasons why President Trump was able to win such a resounding victory in the 2024 election. Because of shows like The View, because of these Hollywood types that think that they have influence over people when it comes to politics. More and more people are waking up and fewer people are listening to them. With that said, it does serve a secondary purpose. I like to use that as my how radical leftist is somebody. I use this as one of my litmus tests. Obviously, since this show is geared towards women, I usually ask this as a question to women. If I think that somebody might be a radical leftist, I'm like, hey, do you ever watch The View? If they answer yes, then I know they're probably lost. I mean, lost for good. If by now they don't realize how bad The View is and they're still watching it today, that means chances are they're never going to recover. Thank you so much for watching. Please go to jdrucker.com/find, jdrucker.com/find for my Rumble, YouTube, X, Brighteon, BitChute, Apple Podcasts, all of the various places where you can subscribe to my work.